What's up guys, Ryan here from Mudgunner, and today we are talking about firearm maintenance. My favorite topic, not really, but it is important, and I actually ran into some issues this weekend because I've kind of neglected one of my guns, one of my favorite guns, and it's not even that I neglected it, it's just it's time for a deep cleaning. So we're going to talk about cleaning your guns, when you should do it, specifically suppressed firearms, unsuppressed firearms, handguns, and yeah, this is going to be a relatively quick video. I'm not going to make it take forever because yesterday's video was a little longer, but I'm just going to take these guns apart and kind of clean them up real fast. I'm not going to show you the whole disassembly and cleaning and whatnot, but I'm just going to talk about some key points that I think you should know about firearm maintenance, because it is very important. If you depend on these guns for your life, you want to make sure they're taken care of. But as much as I love this gun, it did not work the way I wanted it to at the start of my range day, but I had to basically tear it apart and clean it out there. So yeah, we're going to talk about just some basic maintenance. So let's get into it. I'm going to bring the camera closer and show you guys what I'm talking about. We're going to start with the handgun first, since this will be quick. With the handguns, you should basically do a deep cleaning every 500 rounds, ideally. I know some people push theirs till about 1,000 rounds, but I don't recommend that. And if you're able to, you should do every 500 rounds. Now, what I will also say is if you could do a basic wipe down every like 200-ish rounds or after every range day, it's going to keep your gun running pretty smoothly. So what is a basic wipe down? Well, that's where you take some cleaner. I have some M Pro 7 here. We're going to spray a patch, and we're going to just wipe everything down pretty quickly. Now, this is not a deep cleaning. I'm not cleaning inside the barrel. You can if you want. That'd be more of an in-depth cleaning. But you notice how it's all carboned up right here? This is just a quick, it can even be like field maintenance, right? You could do this while you're out shooting. That's what I had to do this weekend for my rifle. And this is just to do basic maintenance to keep your gun up and running. Your feed ramp, you don't want that to be too dirty because that can cause malfunctions in feeding. So yeah, if you can do this about every 200 rounds, this is going to keep your gun running longer, but it does not count as a full service cleaning because you can run into other issues if you don't clean the barrel. And the main issue I ran into with my 300 Blackout this weekend is my chamber area in my barrel was too dirty. So I highly recommend doing a barrel clean. I mean, in a pistol, at least every 500 rounds, ideally. In a rifle, maybe even sooner. And then once you add a suppressor, it's adding dirt to your gun. So you see that's getting a little caked on there. I can get this extremely clean, but this should keep it running for a little bit. I'm not going to go too in depth, but again, a basic maintenance is just wiping down all the visible like dirt and carbon that you can on here as fast as you can, or maybe not even as fast as you can, just enough to get you through another range trip. But the other caveat to this is if this is your only self-defense gun, you should not let it stay this dirty, to be honest. If it's, I mean, this is more than a few range trips. This is probably, I mean, that barrel is maybe 300-ish rounds from the last cleaning. So yeah, you should do more than that if it's your only gun for self-defense, because you want to be able to rely on it later. Because you want to be able to rely on it and trust it, which I trust this gun completely. I've never had any issues. I mean, as dirty as this is, I could take it out for another few hundred rounds and it's going to work fine. The main thing is keeping them oiled, which I always keep them oiled. I actually keep a lot of these in my range bags, and it's just, this is ALG Go Juice. I also have like just sample packs of oils that I'll take out, but doing this will just keep your gun up and running a little bit longer until you can get that deep cleaning done. So again, for pistols, I mean, I would say you shouldn't neglect it for more than 500 rounds. I mean, I don't think there's any reason to. I start to neglect guns because I have too many at this point. I mean, that's not a problem as far as having too many. That just becomes a problem when I do YouTube daily, I record daily, I edit daily, and I shoot lots of guns at once to get content for you guys. So it gets very hard to clean them on top of all that. I'm going to put some actual oil on here. This is just Hoppy's number 9 oil. And again, this is just a quick maintenance. I mean, this could be done in like sub 2 minutes. Just getting some oil in here so that everything will run smoothly. But I mean, this barrel's getting close. I would definitely want to deep clean this barrel within like 200-ish rounds or so. But again, we're going to shoot again this weekend, and this gun's going to run perfectly fine just like this weekend. The other thing you're going to want to kind of notate is your flashlight. You'll notice my flashlight is pretty covered and not very bright anymore. This is a 1,000 lumen flashlight, but it does not look like 1,000 lumens. So sometimes I'll just put a little bit of oil on here and wipe it off. Just kind of pay attention to what cleaners you do on these, because they don't all work good. Oil may not even be good for it. I'm just doing it right now because that's what I have in front of me. But this instantly makes it a little bit better than what it was before. This light's still pretty dim. I mean, this thing has been on here for about 10,000 rounds. But yeah, that's just a quick maintenance on the pistol. And then we're gonna go to the rifle next. I would also wipe down the oil on the outside of the gun. But now the gun will run smoother. So my dog's barking, I gotta go let him in. Now for the rifle, you'll notice it's a little gummy in there and it's getting pretty nasty. The issue I had with this is, again, the chamber was too dirty. This is my very first 300 Blackout. I've had it for a few years now and it's been a super reliable gun, super smooth to shoot, and it already jammed. I'll be honest with you guys, I wouldn't hide that, but I'm gonna lock the bolt back. My gun should be oiled enough, but it may be a little dirty from the last range trip. Oh, okay. So I do the same thing. I do like the basic maintenance where I just wipe everything down quickly and I'll re-oil it, but it doesn't mean the barrel's getting cleaned. So what happened was it got too gunked up in the chamber area specifically. Oh, let me extend my stock here. I guess I don't need to. Oh, I do need to. Oh, there we go. This one's kind of funky because it's a honey badger. But 300 Blackout specifically gets nasty. You basically get like sand particles in there. It's the gunpowder residue or the unburnt gunpowder. So it does not, it's not like a slick kind of grime that goes in a 5.56. It's very gunky and I would say sandy like the beach. So this is after cleaning it in the field. Just a quick cleaning, but I had to clean the barrel, and then I used this ALG Go Juice to get it running. Again, oil is going to make your gun last longer than not being oiled, so at the very least, if you oil it in between shootings, even if you don't clean it, it will make it last longer than if you didn't do that. But again, this gun is just gunked up, and then the upper receiver is just pretty nasty. So again, a basic wipe down of an AR-15, which is all I'm going to do right now because I don't even have time to clean this, would be, again, you take a patch. If you're not going to take the bolt apart, you literally just wipe it and get all that gunkiness off. So, and the Q Honey Badger runs like pretty smooth. Like, even though this is filthy, you see how easy it wipes off? Like, it doesn't stay like locked on there. And again, I keep it pretty well oiled, but it does have its limits. Every gun has their limits. I would say a direct impingement gun is going to get a little bit dirty or suppressed because it's blowing some of the gases back in the, I mean, they basically blow gases in the receiver to cycle the gun, whereas a piston gun should run a little bit cleaner, but even suppressing a piston gun, they get pretty nasty. So, I mean, this would be a quick maintenance on the bolt carrier group. You basically wipe down all your areas and then you would oil it. Another thing would be wiping down in your upper receiver here, because again, this is pretty nasty too. So, I mean, I'll take this, just wipe right here, and you see it instantly got a lot cleaner right there. The upper receiver itself, like up there, doesn't get as clean now because it's just kind of caked on there. But yeah, the chamber area was just too dirty. So I would say you can get by on this about 500-ish rounds of just the quick maintaining it, where you wipe it down the way I just did and oil it. But you just got to watch your chamber areas. Now, an unsuppressed gun should last a little bit longer because it's not getting the chamber area as nasty. But a suppressed gun, they just require more maintenance. If you think about it, for a 5.56, this is a 300 Blackout. Every 100 rounds you shoot through a 5.56, you get about the same amount of like dirtiness if you shoot it like 25 rounds. It's kind of crazy how that works. And that's just my estimate. Like, it's what I'm saying is not exact. You can do with this what you will. But I would say if I shot 100 rounds through my SCAR unsuppressed, it would be just as dirty if I shot 25 rounds suppressed. Maybe even less. It's kind of crazy how that works. DI guns, I mean, even more. DI guns get really nasty. But this would be a quick maintenance, and then I would re-oil it and take it back out shooting. And I'll show you guys the SCAR real fast, because I always talk about how the SCAR is one of the cleanest guns. So I got a SCAR 16 here, but now I've been running it suppressed a lot with a 30 cal suppressor. And again, I'll do the same type of quick maintenance just to keep it running. But you'll notice in my upper receiver here, and maybe if you own a SCAR, you know how clean they run, but it's like all black up there from just a couple hundred rounds, because suppressors, again, even though it's a piston gun and they run clean, it's still dumping all the extra gases into the system. So suppressors will greatly increase how dirty your gun gets. But this gun, still runs extremely clean. 5.56 in general, since it's higher pressure than 300 blackout, it's going to be able to run, I would assume, a little bit longer, suppressed and dirty. But with the Honey Badger right here, I would say it probably went about 500-ish rounds between a good cleaning. So, and honestly, what I did, so this is the kit I keep in my range bag. I've showed this kit before. It's just a pencil case with some cleaning stuff in there. And you'll notice I have a few things here. I had a rag that I wiped down the bolt carrier group. I have this cleaning rod. And this also helps if you ever have a stuck casing in your gun. This is very helpful for that. I mean, it could potentially get a squib out, like if you got a round stuck in your chamber. It'd be very potential, like I wouldn't say it's ideal. But what I had to do was I took this, I ran a patch through it. So I took this, I took one of these patches, I ran it through the eyelet here, and then just put some Hoppe's number 9 oil, and I basically just stuck it in the chamber and just spun it around, and I pulled out so much like gunk. It's kind of crazy. And then I did a dry patch and I did the same thing. I actually pushed the whole thing through the barrel and back out with the dry patch just to make sure I don't get any oil in the barrel. But cue Honey Badger SD. Yeah, that was the kind of quick maintenance I did to get my gun back up and running in the field. It's not ideal, especially if it's like a life or death scenario. I mean, that took a few minutes just to, you know, function check and see, because I was testing to see if it was my ammo or my mags. But yeah, that's what I had to do to get my gun up and running to record a video for you guys. It's not that the gun is bad, it's just you saw how nasty it is. I kind of neglected it too long. But I like testing my stuff. I do try to maintain it and keep it as clean as I can, but again, I do daily videos, I shoot every weekend, and I shoot multiple guns to get content for you guys. So it is hard at this point to maintenance the guns the way I need to. But just showing you guys some of the things that I have to go through to keep this up and running. But again, if you're kind of light on guns, like you don't have that much to worry about, then I would recommend just keeping them cleaner longer, because they will last. But you'll notice I have lots of cleaners here. This is more of an oil. I don't know the exact differences between all this, but this purple one that I used out in the field, it was kind of more gooey, but it worked really well. It kind of reminded me of my buddy's Jello sauce. So my buddy Angelo has this stuff. It works really well. It's called Jello sauce or petroleum Jello. I also like using this, but it does not fit in this container. So I use the small ones, and these work really well. And you just cut them open or tear them open. And I mean, there's still plenty in there. I dropped it in the dirt a couple times, but yep, hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Like I said, maintain your guns as best you can. Worst case scenario, you just do a basic wipe down like this every couple hundred rounds, and then just reapply some oil. I don't think oil matters that much. You can do almost anything. You can use this. You can use the, you know, thicker grease type stuff, spray oil. Anything is going to be better than running it dry. And if you think about it, between cleanings, a lot of it gets wasted anyways, because you just wipe it off during cleaning. So it's really just to hold you over till your next cleaning. That's the way I see it. So I'm not too picky about what I use. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully this wasn't too long for you.